ladies, the search is over. I have found the next hot girl book. If you enjoyed my year of rest and relaxation, boy do I have a recommendation for you today. The book that I'm talking about here is Indelicacy by Amina Kane. Obvious visual similarities aside, I think this has so much potential to be the next hot girl book, and I'm going to be telling you why. So there's a lot of text here, but I think the most TLDR I can give you is that this book is a ghostly feminist fable about class, desire, friendship, and the battle to find one's true calling. Basically, this book is super interesting. It's set in an undefined time period. At some points, I thought it was Victorian. At some points, it feels very weirdly modern. There's no cell phones or anything, but it kind of feels like it exists in a place outside of time, which is very interesting. And this book also reminds me a lot of Joan Didion's Play It As It Lays, in the sense that it's kind of like disjointed, separate entries and very short little chapters. This book definitely has a lot of 2-page chapters going on. If you want to call those chapters, I guess you could call them parts instead. And another notable difference is the size. Compared to My Year of Rest and Relaxation, this book is 155 pages, so it's literally about half the size. I went through this in one sitting and thoroughly enjoyed it. This book just takes your time so seriously. Everything that is mentioned kind of comes back and gives you a little light bulb moment, and it makes you feel smart for paying attention. But yeah, this book has all the essentials of a hot girl read. Our main character is depressed in a position of privilege. There's descriptions of art, there's ballet classes. This book is very concerned with class and poverty and kind of escaping your social class, if that makes any sense, and if that's even possible. There's themes of wealth, there's housewife themes, which I love obviously. There's lots of yearning, there's very poetic prose, and there's a lot of intricate female characters. So if, like me, you love reading about the female experience, this one's for you. I have a tiny microphone. I think that means I know what I'm talking about. In lots of ways, this kind of also reminds me of The Bell Jar, because this is also a tale of a woman of privilege still being depressed, kind of wealth not bringing you happiness, survivor's guilt for escaping your own social class. So once again, if you are into this, you'll like this. And then some other books that I think are loosely related because they're also kind of depressed hot girl reads. The Virgin Suicides, Homesick for Another World, or anything Atessa Moshfegh writes in general. And obviously if you're a Lana stan, you're gonna love this book as well. Just so much of the prose in this is so beautiful, and I've annotated so many lines in here. There's this very simple opening line on page 96 that I think is so perfect. To be alive and sometimes grieving. If that isn't a depressed hot girl line, you tell me. This book also has a lot of fruity moments, so if you're into that, there's definitely there's a fruit basket in there. And then my final point on why you should read this book is that it's very cozy. It reminds me a lot of winter, even though the book does cycle through multiple years and multiple seasons. I have an annotation here that says, this book is weirdly cozy, like a warm red hallway and a snowstorm outside. This book feels like a candlelit grand dining room and reading someone else's diary, which is why I highly enjoyed it. And it might be one of my favorite books I've read this year so far, but don't tell that to the other books. So yeah, that's my hot girl book recommendation, I suppose. Go walk through your nearest independent bookstore and go pick this up. It's really good, trust me. And if you do read it, you should leave a comment down below on whether or not you enjoyed it. I really want to read your experiences with my recommendations. But yeah, thank you for watching this video. I will see you in the next video. Bye!